Hey, Knuckles fan, what's going on? It's your boy Knuckles, aka Laser Video Games, and your favorite cat girl lover. And we are back with some more dandadan episode 3 and 4 episode recaps of Nane What an Episode. And I want to apologize for the delay right there because I was in New York Comic Con and I was saying that, you know what, I'm gonna be in my room, discussing the next episode, but I had no time. I was busy the whole entire weekend, and I want to apologize for, not doing the videos and with this major delay right there. So I want to talk about 3 and 4 at the same time, because the making of separate videos, I don't see the point of that. Like, just make it into one whole video. So we're getting right to it. So episode 3, we're introduced to Psycho, Momo's grandma, and grandma's a baddie. Grandma's a baddie. I feel as though Don took a page out of the MCU book to make their grannies appear younger. Like, you know how in Civil War we're introduced to Spider Man and we see Aunt May, and she's not to say the elderly women are not pretty, but like you know what I'm saying, like they made her younger because Aunt May is most of the time elderly. Yeah, they made her very young in this one, so in that movie. So I feel as though Don took a page out of that book, and not only is she a baddie, but she's a badass too. Like, she was very smart for barriers of controlling that spirit because remember in the last episode, the spirit took over Okram because Momo was knocked out from that last battle right there. So she just was too tired and everything right there. So Psycho was beating the hell out of that spirit, not giving any fucks that the spirit was possessing Okra right there. So she gave no fucks, and I love that. Like I said, I love badass one right there. So, but these next convention in 2025, when I see Psycho, oh yeah, I'm getting a picture. About that, I am getting a fucking picture like that. That's happening right there. That's happening. But Momo does regain consciousness. She wakes up, and they had a little moment between her and Graham, which I really love, was the fact that she apologized for calling her grandma a fake, and actually seeing actual spirits right there. So I feel that that was a touching moment right there. And Okarona is still alive. She tells him where Okarona is at, and she feels bad. What's happening because episode 2, Okarona feels as though it's his fault why things have happened, but she feels as though it's her fault why Okaron's what's gone away and that he's cursed right there. So I do like that because they both feel sorry about what happened, but Okaron is still alive, and in this episode basically it's basically about like training because you gotta train how to use your powers, and Okaron you gotta train how to contain that curse, which they didn't really do too much about in this episode, but I will say one thing I definitely found interesting was the fact that Turbo Granny was a modern spirit. However, she found a balanced spirit that stays in one location, stays in one barrier, right? And the two actually fused together. And Sega was going to investigate that same tunnel, but she felt something bad. She was like, "Yeah, I sense a fused spirit. I can't know. This is not for me right there." But she did say in order to defeat both of them, you have to take them outside the city because the city is the whole entire barrier. It's almost like their domain expansion, pretty much. So you have to take them out of the domain expansion in order to defeat them or to have a better chance at least. So that was actually pretty cool right there. And so it's not just a regular spirit, it's a bound spirit right there. So I thought that was actually pretty cool right there. But basically, this episode is mainly on the trend aspect of it. Momo seeing Kent's aura, I thought that was pretty cool. So it's like, I think it was mainly more training for her. Like, I didn't really see much of a training for Okuran, honestly. Because the whole entire time he's been holding this, he's got to use the bathroom. He's got to use the bathroom right there, and like I said, they can't let him out of sight because they let him out of sight, the curse takes over. So it's like, yo, like I don't know what to do right there. You know what I'm saying? It's like either shit in front of us or we gotta watch you poop. I'm saying, like, I thought that was very, 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 very funny right there. But he does run to the bathroom. But what we didn't know was that Turbo Granny was took over Okran. So even when he's wide awake, even when he's full control, she can still Turbo Granny can still take control of him. And what's crazy was that it was like time stopped. Like Okra was just sitting there, Sanga was just standing there, and Turtle Granny says, "Hey, if you want to end this, come to the tunnel right now. If not, I'll kill both Okarun and Psycho right there." And you saw that Psycho was bleeding. I don't know if Okarun was bleeding at that point, but also it was all red. It was all red. So the effects of that right there were really, really cool right there. So it shows that yeah, shit's about to go down. But uh now Okarun and Psycho have to go out and actually fight Turbo Granny to stop this, to prevent Psycho from dying. And she did give them, give them protective gear right there. And look at him be riding on the bike. They're like, yeah, we gotta go on a train. Yeah, it's gonna take too long. But Mom was like, nah, this girl hurt my grandma. She's gonna fucking pay right there. So I thought that was pretty cool right there. And so that pretty much ends episode 3. And episode 4 is pretty much, them fighting Turbo Granny. They get back to the tunnel, and my God, like this shit was. I swear, like I feel as though dandadan is like, if you smoke, you could be on some trippy stuff just watching this, and you're gonna be like, "Yo, what am I seeing right there?" Because you see Turbo Granny's like face mixed with the barrier spirit right there, just looking all sorts of wrong and stuff. I'm just like, oh, but good illustration, good animation right there too. And what's cool, crazy is that Okrun turns into his, like his little form and everything, but it doesn't work because they're in the bear, and Turbo Granny gave him back his dong right there. So so he was powerless right there, right? So as things look to be not good, Momo remembered what her grandma said, you have to taunt Turbo Granny, get like challenge her because she can't turn on the challenge right there, right? So she basically said, all right, let's go ahead and race. Because you can't turn on the challenge, right? Because you're turbo great, right? You're fast, right? But as they're running away, Turbo Granny kind of broke the rules by playing the rules by saying 30 minutes, but she's like, yep, 5 minutes, 10, like she's basically counting 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes right there. And so she kind of cheated right there, right? Now, it was looking dire for Momo because she like kind of trapped Momo right there, and Ken, think of it, he bit her on her Urkun bit her on her outfit, but she bit her on the he bit her on the titty. He bit her on the titty. She bit her on the titty right there, and it was her and her, right? So as it was her and her, she kind of like she took over Okram, but when she did that, Momo can see the aura right there and was able to like grab her. She was like a little twig right there, like, a little twig right there. I thought like, oh, that's pretty interesting right there. So now they have Turbo Granny, which Okra does have his power right there too. Wait, let me see. See what else. All right, cool, right? But they have that, right? So they have Turbo Granny, but the Bound Spirit actually comes out to stop them. So basically, like this was just basically like a chase right there. Like it was a chase all throughout the city. And, I did like the red effects right there because that's still the barrier right there. Like the whole city was red, but Okura does eventually turn into his what form do we even call that? Like I need to look at see what that form is. I forgot the name of it right there, but it's like his spirit ghost form or whatever like that. So they're pretty much running around the whole entire city right there, and I thought that was like pretty cool. Like even though he doesn't has full control over his powers just yet, it was still seeing, having him have the speed, a little bit of endurance right there. Like I said, he needs to control the endurance a lot better because it's a lot for him. Like Okron is still learning; his body is not used to, transforming and whatnot. But actually get to the hot spring right there, and they use the hot spring because the barrier experience is a crab right there. So hot water on a crab right there goes well. But Turbo Granny being smart was the fact that there's a cemetery nearby, and she used the people to actually chase them down. They look like freaking zombies right there. I thought that was really, really cool. Then they Okran turned into his form again, and they changed the little music to like the little chargers right there, just running around, flying around right there. Like it was really, really, really cool right there. Like it was just really, really cool. And but what's cool about this episode is that the fact that we see the um teamwork between Momo and Okaran. We're seeing that team dynamic between the two each other. I like it. It's a start of things to come because them working together, they're a pretty good team right there. Even though I feel as though Momo's and most like Momo has like has the plans and everything. She's like the brains. I would say Okaran has the brawn, but like it's only the brawn for like maybe like about 5 seconds or whatever like that. So he still has to control his power to maintain it for to become even longer right there, right? So things were looking dire because Okran couldn't be a spirit anymore right there, and they look to be outnumbered, right, surrounded. So Mama using her second powers, grabs onto the train right there. It's like let's go on the train, let's go right there, right. The train's going fast, but Turbo Granny gets on the barrier right there. Well, was it still the yeah? It was still the barrier right there. Gets in the barrier. The train's moving 100 miles per hour, but she's going 120 because the trains have different times of the day. The train's going at a different speed right there. So the train was pretty much going slow. She was going fast, but as they're driving away, they're out the city and pretty much out the bear, which flows into the just Momo's plan right there. And we see Psycho standing right there, looking like a badass right there. And what was so interesting and so cool, I wouldn't say cool, but like in a way, kind of sad was the fact that well, we saw Turbo Granny and the barrier be destroyed. We see these girls coming out. I'm like, at first, I'm like, wait, are those the people that were just out there? But no, these are girls right there, right? And so, honestly, to me, this was like the most important part of the episode was the fact that Turbo Granny, pretty much that tunnel girls were sexually assaulted there and like died there. They're come to little pieces right there. So a lot of bad stuff were happening to these young girls, and Turbo Granny was like there to confront the spirits right there. So it's like you kind of understand why they're like that. Now, at first I'm like, oh, don't tell me we're gonna go through some demon slayer shit where we gotta feel bad for the demons, right? But second was like, yo, no, like even though it's a sad story, and they pay the respects too, which is pretty cool, right? They pay the respects, but even though it's a sad story, it's like that still doesn't give them the right to kill other people. But it does make sense as to why Timber is like, let me gobble your thing. So it kind of makes sense because the girls were sexually assaulted, so yeah, you already know about that right there. So, but she said another thing was the fact that while spirits should be attacking humans, humans should not be disrespecting the dead. So I like it. It goes both ways right there. So I felt that was a very, very important message throughout this whole entire episode, in my honest opinion, right there. So shout out to Psycho for that important message right there. So everything's been going good, and the most important part of episode two, not the most important part of episode, but like the most beautiful episode was the fact that Momo said to Okura, "See you tomorrow." So he has a friend, and he says he has his thing back right now, which is cool. But I'm still wondering, okay, so what happens now? Like Turbogram is defeated. He has his thing back. So what happens now? So I'm curious to know. Like I'm very curious to know what's gonna happen now. Like I said, I don't read the manga, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen. But I mean, maybe we'll be introduced to new characters. We have not seen those other two characters and that little cat spirit or whatever like that. So I'm interested to see what these people are and why do I feel as though I'm talking too fast for my own good. I feel like I'm like fresh right now. I gotta speak fucking like that. Oh my god. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. Like sometimes how I speak is just like what am I saying right now? Like what am I saying right now? I feel as though I need to like speak calmly and just speak, fine because like I think too much. I think too much right there. But that is episode 3 and 4. Definitely like this episode. Like I said, the end of episode 4, the meaning of the curse right there. Because you gotta understand too, like curses or spirits and all that type of ghost right there. It's like most spirits happen from like a tragic past. So like, that was the tragic past right there, and it was very sad to see that. But they paid their respects, and there's a meaning throughout all this, and I really did like that. But episode 3 and 4 were great. I'm still going to see what's going to happen now that Oakland has his thing back right there. So we'll see. We'll see. But anyways, folks, sorry for talking so fast because like I want to get this video like done so fast. So my apologies for going like. So, but anyways, folks, it's definitely not the best video, but I do want to like have this in the library because I don't want to like skip anything right there because I really do want to bring anime on this channel a lot more than the gaming right. Well, no, I want gaming and anime to be on the same side. That's what I want. I want to be on the same side. So I don't want to be signing off right there, but we're gonna be talking some other anime episodes pretty soon after this video. So be sure to stay tuned. Give this video a like. Be sure to follow me on other social media accounts. Comment, share, like, all the good stuff. And like I said, subscribe to part of Uncle's family. And always remember, folks, what Jaco said. There is no such thing as a life better than yours. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.